So what's up? How you doing? We're going to take a look at the best songs for learning sixth. And if you're anything like me, you might want to have a little more depth to your sound. You might like to sound a little more different than the average player. And sixths are a great way to do that. I use them all the time. It has this very, very sweet, kind of cool and spacey sound to it. So let's look at two songs that get a really, really good examples. I'm going to break down what it is after playing through an example for each one and give a quick little tidbit on what sixths are if you have no idea. But first, let's listen to the first example, which is Fortunate Son by Creedence. So let's check it out. So first off, if sixths are new to you, they are basically just the distance between two notes, a certain type of interval. So going up a scale, a sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there, and that's a sixth. So it's got usually a string between, depending on how you want to play it. You can stretch out in some cases like that too. But that's just a quick snapshot of what a sixth is. And a lot of times when you hear notes harmonized above or below, it could be a sixth. That's just one way of doing it. So it's a particular kind of sound. So this song is a great example because I think learning things through examples, and particularly with songs for music, are just a great way to attach it to something that you already know and it's already kind of meaningful for you. And hopefully this is a song you're into. And let's look at what's going on. It's just this intro part here. It's just going down a G, what they call Mixolydian scale. And what that is, if you don't know, not too important to know right now, but just to know it's going down the scale right here, and then adding a sixth below it, or you can think of it as a sixth going above, kind of whichever direction you want to know go. It doesn't really matter, it's just the idea of that sixth between the two notes. So it's from here, then the same shape down here, and here, and it actually starts a little bit below, like a couple frets, sliding up into it. That's a real common thing with sixths, sliding in. So it's not just playing the sixth that make it sound good, but the way it's played really can make a big difference. And then this one right here is more like one fret or so. It doesn't really matter, you know? And what that is going down that G Mixolydian scale, it's going down G, F, E, and D. And so if you can just kind of pick that out, applying it to other situations, say if you wanted to do it for, B right here, just do it on these strings right here. Here's a B. And then there you go. Here, it's the same thing. So a lot of this stuff, it's just shapes, and we get used to it. We don't have to know everything, but we can move it around. Don't make the mistake that when I started learning sixth and learning a lot of things, I always thought I had to be super, super thorough and just know it up and down, all the shapes, all over the fretboard. And that really kind of held me back from just going forward and trying to make the best music I can with what I already know. So just these four, kind of shapes, or two different shapes, really. That's all it is. These two, and then those two, with four different spots, four notes. You can make a lot of music with that and other keys, as well. And the only difference here, the only different thing, you going along, is that little part down right there. That kind of resolves it. Just bending this B flat just a little bit to that G. And it sounds a little awkward in my example because on the original recording, this note, I can tell holds long. It's a second guitar. And it's held longer because this note's still going while the other guitar starts that again. So it's a little hard to put these two together. It can be done, And that's it. So let's look at the next one. And at the end of this, I have the backing tracks, just real quick, simple things I made for both of these. And I made it in another video, one half of the song, one half of the other song. And I will put a link at the end of this video to that video with the charts so you can just follow along if you want to grab your guitar and practice this stuff yourself. But the second song here is the Ballad of John and Yoko from the Beatles. Let's listen to it and dive in what is going on. So this one's a little different. This is in the key of E, and it's just 3 chords, just E, A, and B7. So it's a 1, 4, 5 in E. And the 6th kind of come in, George Harrison's lead part on the chorus. Well, you know, it's hanging on the E for a while. And then when it goes up to the A, that's when he starts doing it. And he does it over each chord. And he goes right on the A like this. And this is the same idea over here. We're on Fortunate Son playing for G, but just playing it on this string. And this top note, that's the root there. That's that A. So if you're playing, you know, an A like this A shape, the top 2 notes here, or I'm sorry, this note, not top 2, but this one. So if I'm playing these 2 like that, so skipping this right there, that gives you an outline of an A chord. And to play these at the same time in this song, the separation, the other one, is easy to pick through. Now, all the notes happen at the same time. So it's a little trickier. You can lean over on purpose to mute the string in the middle, or you can use your pick and your finger to get it at the same time. I do that all the time because it gives you an exact, you know, the notes at the exact same time. Here, it's just like a tiniest fraction of a second later, which is okay, but I sometimes like that really precise sound. Or you can just use your fingers all together, just a thumb and, you know, index or middle finger, you know, doesn't really matter. But that's just that outlining that part of the chord right there. So it's really useful to know. So anytime you know where the root is of a chord on this string, just play it here, and same thing on this string. So if I found an A here, there you go. It's the same thing. So it makes it sound like you're really playing with the chord and not just playing around with the scale when you're using this stuff to improvise. Now the first part of it though starts up here. And this is actually 2 notes in the chord as well. This is the 3rd on the root here, and this is the 5th and the 3rd. And so if you just know those 2, you get really used to these shapes, you can outline chords all the time. So say I just play this A right here. And you see, ooh, it sounds really nice and sweet. Again, it's that distance between those 2 notes, just really like gives you that nice sweet sound, but I'm also playing notes in the chord, and that just makes it match up and sound real nice. And then if you go down the scale, it'd be right here, but then he's throwing in right in between. Big thing in country, you hear that a lot. Or all at the same time, like he's doing it. And that's it for the A chord. And then when it goes to the E, it's the same thing, but going down here to E, which is the same exact frets and everything. It's just over 1 string. Because here's your A, here's your E, and some of these notes, like right here, this is not in the key, and then even this one right here, actually, I said going down the scale, but actually for this chord, it would be here. But if you're kind of aware of that stuff and you're thinking, wait, that doesn't fit, don't worry about it. A lot of times with 6 and just music in general, things don't match up and they're not always perfectly in the key like you think they are. You know, learning scales and keys are a great way to kind of learn how things work and get your ear better and learn kind of how to fit, you know, things together when you want to. But really, a lot of good music doesn't fit together. You get a lot of clashing. So you get clashing there. This is not on the key as well. That's not on the key, but it goes so fast. You know, it's fine. It gives you a little bit of tension that gets resolved at the end. And then the other one is B. And then it's the same thing. Same thing as the A, just 2 frets higher. And then that's it. So he's just doing that for every one. Just landing right, boom, right in the chord, right in the chord, right in the B, and then back to E. So you can hear me just playing that right now. It sounds like I just outlined the chords even though I wasn't fully playing the chords, wasn't playing along with anything else. And it still sounds like it. So 6 are a great way to really make it sound like you're playing with a chord progression and not just playing over it. So it's another thing that I love about it as well. So hopefully you find that helpful. And if you've got time right now, check out the link here and it'll take you to the video where you can just try to play along with the simple little tracks I made. But let me know, what are some other songs that you like to play along with that have 6 that are really prominent as well? You know, really there's tons of songs. These 2 are 2 great examples. One giving you the kind of more bluesy Mixolydian sound, the other one fitting right in a more major key. But there are endless songs. So let me know in the comments down below, what are some songs I always like to learn more myself, and let's see what we can come up with. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.